Hello everyone. Now, recently there's been a lot of situations of people getting their ships stuck in various situations. And most people might think this is some sort of bug, some sort of glitch, or the engine just bugged out or something. But especially after seeing this situation here, I really started suspecting something is up. You can see the Georgia about trying to dodge the drive-by from the Friedrich Grosse. He's sailing in the middle of the open sea and... yep. He just stopped in the middle of the open water and he does get rammed, but because he's running the flag and because it came in from such an angle, he does survive the FDG ram. Now, I jump into free camera on this replay because I suspect what's actually going on. And if you use the actual numpad controls, this is the old spectator camera that they never actually got around to removing. I wonder if they're going to remove it now, since it allows you to find out what's actually going on underneath. And as you can see, underneath, rocks in the middle of the open water without any visual warning that they're there, without any actual indicator besides that kind of buggy watch out, you're about to ground warning that's in the game. Now, these are obviously part of Wargaming adding submarines to the game, so they've started adding this underwater world. The problem is, of course, in classic Wargaming fashion, there's no way they can add something like that without screwing it up for everyone else. So now we have a battleship that's grounded in the middle of the open without any idea why he's doing it, trying to reverse, trying to accelerate, trying to get around this kind of rock formation that's just bumping out of nowhere without any sort of visual indication that it's there. Most people have probably started experiencing this in the game already. I've had people who said they lost some clan battle fights, they lost A, B, C and so forth, they lost various things, but most would probably write it off as a bug. And this actually affects a bit more than just ships grounding. Being who I am and loving to experiment and find out what all has Wargaming messed up this time, I of course took out a Asashio, since Asashio has quickly reloading torpedoes. I'm pretty sure deep water torps run just as deep as normal torps, by the way. They're just coded to not hit destroyers, or they're coded to only hit battleships. And not to my surprise at all, because these do go slightly underwater, you see that these torpedoes actually hit this underwater formation. You thought it was frustrating when you tried to torp someone around an island and the torp indicator told you that your torps would land, but then they actually hit the island after all. Well, now you can actually torp people in the middle of the open water and have your torpedoes get eaten by an invisible rock formation that you can't even see. In fact, if we slow down this replay, which I do here, and follow these torpedoes, you can see just how obscenely large the hitbox, I'm not sure if it's on the torpedoes or on the island, but it looks like these torpedoes should easily be able to clear this. But what actually happens is, right as they're passing by it, for some reason, the torpedo just arms on the island and you get a little splash explosion on this rock formation, and you get a little splash formation on it. Same thing happens with the other set as well. So let's say if you were trying to torp someone who was nose in this situation and you happen to be behind that island, you would probably be pretty damn salty right about now. Well, you might be thinking, hey, well, Flamu, this is a one-time thing. No, it really isn't, because when they added this underwater formation, basically to every map they've added a bunch of glitchy stuff. Here's a good example. This is a very common spot that people play. If you see ships pushing in or ships coming in or torpedoes coming in, you might try to duck into the left here to get into cover. This is a common spot that people play. What happens, however, is I get stuck. I ground. Now, you might think this is just kind of bumping into the island or something, but no, this is also part of this new underwater world that Wargaming has added to the game. In fact, if you go underneath and check, you can see that it's a sloped sloped kind of a plate underneath, or a sloped ground underneath. And what this means, because of the sloping, is that the faster you bump into this, the further up your ship gets pushed because of the momentum. It kind of glides up on top of it, and you have huge issues. In fact, look at the speed, top right. I'm speeding up the replay. This is me trying to dislodge my ship from this spot. I grounded around 16 minutes in, and trying to dislodge is basically impossible. And once again, that was just one of the positions. A guy said that they actually lost the clan battle game because a Des Moines or something got stuck up here. So obviously I try sailing up here, see what's going on. It looks like we're gonna sail around the island. Doesn't seem to be any problems. And once again, we are stuck. And of course, to no one's surprise at all, if we go underneath the surface again, the culprit is this fantastic new underwater world that Wargaming has added to the game, and we have the same kind of sloped plate. And on this island you tend to come in with a lot more speed, and you can see just how lodged my ship is on this position. So I decided to try my best to actually get my ship off this island. The timer top right, it's 14:30. So let's try to dislodge. Well, I'm gonna have to speed up this replay a fair bit to show you how hard it was for me to actually get my ship off this island. Of course, if you're playing any sort of competitive or anything similar, having a guy get stuck here and not be able to help or do anything for minutes at an end, sometimes even permanently. In fact, I ultimately got off by basically switching between autopilot, reversing and speed boosting, and I grounded 14:30. Or actually it was before, but I started trying to dislodge around 14:30, and only at, what, 10:30, 4 minutes later, basically 20% of the game gone, only then did I manage to get my ship off the island. So, I don't want to sound too pessimistic, but considering Wargaming just quite recently released a dev blog, where they bragged about their new stage of submarine testing, and there are some rather juicy points in that thing. Like, well, first of all, they're giving subs sap shells as secondary guns. Don't ask me why. It's some Wargaming thing. Everyone can get sap except Italian battleships. But here you can see them bragging about added an underwater environment for most of the maps, including seabed relief and the underwater parts of islands. This innovation will help submarines navigate the battlefield while submerged. And I'm getting such similar vibes to what we saw during the CV rework and afterwards, where the main focus of the company is clearly this new upcoming gimmick, aka submarines. And if battleships are grounding in the middle of the open, or getting permanently stuck, or torpedoes are being eaten by invisible islands, they're not that important. I mean, let the players beta test that stuff on the live servers like they always do. What's important is that subs get pushed onto live server as soon as possible. So yeah, get ready for probably another shit show when they try to squeeze submarines into the game, no matter the testing, no matter the balancing issues, no matter the problems with... They still haven't told us what they're going to do about the fact that the servers basically feel empty when you play on submarine test because there's no surface ships to fight. Anyway, that was all for me, as always. I hope you guys enjoyed the stuff. I hope you guys enjoy the channel. Leave a comment what you think, as always. And if you do feel like subscribing, I do appreciate it. Take care. I'll talk to you guys next time.